Good day, everyone. I'm Justine, and I'm the first reporter of Group 5. I'll be reporting about gender rule. Gender rule. This is a set of behavioral norms associated particularly with males and females in a given social group or system. So when we say behavioral norms, these are expected behavior for a woman and man to be done in a social group or society. It can be expressed by clothing, behavior, or occupation. Theories of gender rule. The first theory we have is the traditional theory. It said that one's gender identity and hence one's gender role is a natural given. So in traditional theory, gender rules started after we born, so it is natural given. The second theory we have is Simon de Behaviors. It said a person could be born with male genitals but still be of feminine gender. So in this theory, a male could be born with male genitals but still be a feminine gender. Example, you were born physically male, but you are more capable, or there is a feminine side of you. Same as for a woman who was born physically woman but has masculinity side or more capable on it. The third one is Aurelio Carnel. Connell. He said that there were non-connection between biology and gender rule, but this theory was rejected because concrete evidences exist proving the effects of hormones on behaviors. So this theory shows the contradiction between biology and gender rule, that they are not related to each other. The third one is Simon Baron Lohen. He said, female brain is predominantly hardwired for empathy, while the male brain is predominantly hardwired for understanding and building a system. So when we say predominantly hardwired, it means a person is very complex or very capable of doing something. So it means male brain or male thinking skills are more strong or complex than how female thinks. The last one is the David Raymer. He said that female gender show that raising a child in a cross-sex rule does not cause a child to necessarily adapt to that rule. Socialization. Socialization is a process through which the individual learns and accepts rules. It works by encouraging unwanted and discouraging unwanted behaviors. It is also a process of internalizing the norms and ideologies of society. So, there is a developing process in which an individual learn or accept rules, such as socializing other people around you. When you interact, you learn. The same with acceptance of gender rules in society. This involves behavior of a person, how gender rule accepted by the society in the process of socialization, to socialize other people, something like that. And it is also the process of interaction of different gender which is accepted by the society. The last topic that I have here is about culture and gender rule. Culture and gender rule may differ markedly with time and place. The elements of convention or tradition seem to play a dominant role in deciding which occupations fit in with which gender roles, such as the practice of medicine in other countries. So this happens because time to time we are all changing and every one of us should adapt it. They are connected to each other in which gender role reflects and follow the culture and society, as gender role cannot grow without basing on a culture in it. So that's all about my topic, and thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Francis Julwetes, a 20 years old, living in Kagumantong Lasi, Siquijor. So, our topic for today is all about gender roles. So, what is meant by gender roles? So, gender roles in society means how we're expected to act, speak, dress, groom, and conduct ourselves based upon our assigned sex. Okay, so let's proceed to gender roles and feminism. So, most feminists have argued that traditional gender roles are oppressive for women. They believe that the female gender role was constructed as an opposite to an ideal male role and helps to perpetuate patriarchy. Furthermore, there has been a perception of Western culture in recent times that the female gender role is dichotomized into either being a stay-home mother or a career woman. In reality, women usually face a double burden. The need to balance occupations and child deprives women of spare time. Next is homosexuality and gender roles. So, traditional gender roles include male attraction to females and vice versa. Homosexual, lesbian, and bisexual people usually do not conform to these expectations. Same-sex domestic partners also challenge traditional gender roles because it is impossible to divide up household responsibilities along gender lines if both partners attempt to fill the same gender role. Next is cross-dressing. Cross-dressing is also common in gay and lesbian culture, but it is usually restricted to festive occasions, though there are people of all sexual orientations who routinely engage in various types of cross-dressing, either as a fashion statement or for entertainment. Distinctive styles of dress, however, are commonly seen in gay and lesbian circles. Some fashion and behavioral elements in gay and lesbian culture are novel and do not really correspond to any traditional gender roles. For example, the popularity of rainbow jewelry. Next is types of gender roles. So, gender roles are a specific set of social and behavioral actions which are considered to be appropriate for the given gender. The concept of gender roles has been developed from the work of Caroline Moser. She explains this concept as follows. Gender planning recognizes that in most social low-income women have a triple role. Women undertake reproductive, productive, and community managing activities while men primarily undertake productive and community politics activities. Next is type of gender role. So reproductive role. Reproductive role, childbearing, rearing responsibilities, and domestic tasks done by women required to guarantee the maintenance and reproduction of the labor force. Next is productive role. Productive role, work done by both men and women for pay in cash or kind. It includes both market production with an exchange value and subsistence home production with an actual use value and also potential exchange value. Next is community managing role. Community managing role, activities undertaken primarily by women at the community level as an extension of the reproductive role to ensure the provision and maintenance of the scarce resources of collective consumptions such as water, healthcare, and education. Next is community politics role. So, community politics role, activities undertaken primarily by men at the community level, organizing at the formal political level, often within the framework of national politics. This is usually paid work either directly or indirectly through status or power. Next is multiple roles. Both men and women play multiple roles. The major differences, however, is that men typically play the roles sequentially, focusing on a single role, while women must usually play the roles simultaneously, balancing the demands of each within their limited time constraints. The gender-based division of labor ascribed in a given socio-economic setting determines the roles that men and women actually perform. Since men and women play different roles, they often face very different cultural, institutional, physical, and economic constraints, many which are rooted in systematic biases and discrimination. Next is knowledge of feminism. So, feminism, the belief in the social, economic, and political equality of the sexes. Although largely originating in the West, feminism is manifested worldwide and is represented by various institutions committed to activity on behalf of women's rights and interests. Throughout most of Western history, women were confined to the domestic sphere, while public life was reserved for men. In medieval Europe, women were denied the right to own property, to study, or to participate in public life. At the end of the 19th century in France, they were still compelled to cover their heads in public, and in parts of Germany, a husband still had the right to sell his wife. Even as late as early of 20th century, women could neither vote nor hold elective office in Europe and in most of the United States. Women were prevented from conducting business without a male representative, he is father, brother, husband, legal agent, or even son. Married women could not exercise control over their own children without the permission of their husbands. Moreover, women had little or no access to education and were barred from most professions. In some parts of the world, such restriction on women continue today. Okay, so that ends our discussion for today. We are the Group 5. Thank you for watching and God bless everyone.